Hello, I'm Semily Sherry of Triple Moon, and the subject that's come up for me with several clients recently is kind of stripping back layers of fears and worries and of events that seem to be manifesting in their lives, and underlying everything is this one telling question, and that is, do you fundamentally believe and live as if the universe is a benevolent or a malevolent place? Not necessarily even malevolent place, but basically, does the universe support you or is it unsupportive? And this is a fantastic question to ask yourself that leads in to some really deep self-investigation. There are many ways that this underlying belief can manifest. There are many ways that you can identify it being active in your own life. And the first of those is fear, obviously. Anything that's in opposition to the universe, and by the universe I mean spirit, all that is, God, if that's what you want to call him or her. So if you're in opposition to love, you're in fear. And in particular, if you're operating from this faulty belief system that the universe is not benevolent, that it doesn't support you, then you fear change, and you can often fear the future. So you tend to stick with what's familiar. You may find it difficult to make decisions, and you worry a lot about the future. Another way that this underlying belief system can manifest in your life is a lack of trust. And this, of course, operates first of all within yourself. So you will notice there's a lack of trust within yourself. You don't trust your intuition. You don't believe that you're capable of making your way through life safely. And therefore also this then projects out, not necessarily projects, but it ripples out onto others. So you find it hard to trust others in your life too. You're suspicious of people and their motivations. That's another way. And then the third way that this can manifest is if you tend to be a bit of a control freak. And that is, so you like to know the exact outcomes of everything. You like to make sure that you're micromanaging everything in your life so that you can be really sure of what the outcome is going to be. And that's because if things seem out of your control, you don't trust it to work out okay. And again, that comes back to this basic underlying belief that the universe is not benevolent, that it doesn't support you. So there are many, many ways. Really, I'm giving you this question because it actually opens up the door to dive deeper into what's going on underneath that belief system. And there are many ways that this can have been imprinted, if you like, on your soul and on your being. Essentially, of course, know that it's a personality, it's an ego issue, because your soul at the soul level or at the spirit level, where it is connected to all that is, knows that this is rubbish, knows that there's nothing to be worried about, that you can totally trust yourself and trust the universe, and that actually the more you surrender and the more you let go of this need to control, the better things are going to flow. So your spirit knows this. So it is an ego personality thing. So for that we have to go back to, often I find it's been imprinted on you in childhood. So there are very real cases where you've not had a safe childhood. You've been abused, perhaps mentally, emotionally, physically. You've been neglected in some way, you've not been looked after, your basic needs haven't been met. And so as a very young child, you learn that essentially in your experience, the universe doesn't support you, your needs don't get met, you're not looked after. Then there, if you go back a little further, childhood is often a main way, but if you go back further, it can be interesting to explore your birth journey as well, your entrance onto this planet. It's interesting to talk to your mum and ask what her experiences were during childbirth, because often if you have a problematic or a traumatic journey into this world, then of course you associate being here physically with trauma. It's not supportive, it's a painful place to be, and that's imprinted on you straight away with your first experience in this lifetime. And then of course there can be past life influences too, where you've had lifetimes where you've been persecuted, you've been punished, where you have not had your needs met, you've actively had things taken away from you, had support taken away from you, and all of this can feed in to an underlying belief that the universe isn't a benevolent place. So these are just ways to kind of dive in and to see if that belief system is operating. You have to be really honest with yourself, and it's not just about, am I a pessimist or am I an optimist? Do I think my glass is half full or is my glass half empty? It's a bit more subtle than that. It's looking at the way you make choices in your life, how you move through your life, how you use your intuition, how you make decisions. Do you always play it safe? Can you take a risk? And there's lots of layers and different levels at which this operates, but it does give you a really, really good insight. And one really obvious way to know if perhaps at a really soul level you don't have this trust in the universe is are you able to ground? How grounded are you? Do you find it easy to connect to the earth? Because by grounding and connecting to the earth, you kind of have to accept on some level that the earth will support you, that this physical incarnation will support you while you're here, that you can relax into it. So many spiritual people who tend to be highly sensitive as well will go out of body, will want to spend time in meditation and up in these wonderful ethereal realms where it feels more comfortable because it does feel safe there. But the whole point, as I always keep saying, is to bring that spiritual knowing and wisdom down to earth. So it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge to trust in the universe, in source, in spirit, while living a physical life. But it is the reason why we're here. So just to give you that as a lead-in, if you like, to explore why you may be stuck in certain areas of your life, why you can't move forward. Just ask yourself that question. Fundamentally, do I believe that the universe supports me and is benevolent towards me? Or do I, on some deep level, see the universe as being an unsafe and unsupportive place to be? Okay, sending you so much love and blessings as we come up to the new moon of February 2018, and just hoping that this may help to kickstart you into exploring some interesting aspects of your psyche and soul. I'll see you again soon.